There's a lot of talk about goal setting. Can you talk to us a bit about goal setting and how you deploy goal setting for yourself and in your work?
Well, goal setting is a really powerful tool. And I think for human beings, it's kind of like bringing protein back to the tribe. You set your mind to it, you go out 2-3 days, you get the buffalo, and you bring it back. And it's helped human civilization survive for millennium. I made a decision in 2014 about the amount of money I needed to do certain projects. And I figured, and to have complete control over the projects. So I did the numbers and I figured I needed 10 million bucks. So I went with my buddies and built a business. We sold the business, and in 2019, I had $9.8 million in stock. And it was all lined up with this goal that I set for myself. And that was an intermediate goal. Understanding how goals work, I think, is very important too. A lot of people think, well, I'm going to make these decisions about what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to the gym. So they'll say, well, I'm going to go to the gym. But if they don't have an overarching, they call it a superordinate goal that drives going to the gym, they're probably going to taper off and eventually quit. So there are 3 levels of goals. There's superordinate, intermediate, and subordinate. And a subordinate goal might be something like, I'm going to go to the gym this morning at 8 o'clock and I'm going to work out for an hour. An intermediate goal might be, I'm going to work out for the next 6 months every single day for an hour every day. But a superordinate goal is a value. It's like, I want to be in good health, right? So that drives going to the gym, so that even when maybe you can't go to the gym for some reason, but you still have that value that drives your behavior, so you'll find an alternate and you'll continue to be healthy. The thing about those superordinate goals is there's no end point. They never end. So like you might say, I want to be a good person. Well, you don't do things and then you're 43 years old and you did all this good stuff, so you were a good person. Now you don't have to be good anymore. They never end. They're infinite. They're there till the day you die. And they drive all the other goals. There is some parts of goal setting that if people don't understand, they can fail achieving their goals. Chunking is a really simple one, which is take your big goals, break it up into parts. Okay, those parts are manageable. They're things that we can achieve. If we just focus on the big goal, we tend to go, oh, it's too much, I can't do it. But we can do the little ones. So we break it into smaller parts. Compensation effects is a really interesting one. So let's say you have this big, huge goal and you break it up into parts and then you complete one of the parts. Well, one of the things by human nature, what we do is we just say, oh, well, I got that thing done. I'm just gonna rest now. Most people do that. They don't realize that that is an effect of human nature. So they do that, they take a rest and think, oh, I'm not doing a good job, or they don't recover from it because they don't realize that it's there waiting for them when they finish their task or obstacle. There's the law of diminishing returns. The law of diminishing returns is a really old, there's an old Chinese proverb that says, chase 2 rabbits, both escape. So the more goals you set for yourself, the fewer you will actually accomplish. So the magic number is around 3. You set 3 goals, you'll probably achieve 3. You set 10 goals, you'll probably achieve 1. You set more than 10, you probably won't accomplish any. So it's the law of diminishing returns, and if we know that, then we know we don't want to set too many goals for ourselves at any given time. And then there's diminishing marginal utility. And this is a very interesting one. So you buy a candy bar, and candy bar costs $1. You think, it's great, I love that candy bar, it's delicious. It was worth that $1. You go, you buy another one for $1. You eat it and you go, it was all right, it was good. Not as good as the first one. You buy the third one wasn't worth $1. You probably don't even eat half and go, oh, this thing's making me sick. And that's true of everything we do, that given the same amount of effort, we want more return. So you're a salesperson, you're selling something and you sell it and you make some money, and then you sell it again and you make the same amount of money. You just don't get the same effect. So goals need to be larger and larger and larger and larger and larger, or we won't want to continue doing them. And then there's the arrival fallacy. And the arrival fallacy is a really interesting one. That's one where we think in our head, if I just get to this point, I'll be happy forever. Well, guess what? It never happens. The day that I made that $9.8 million, guess what? I wasn't any happier than the day that I decided to do it. It never comes. We will never be any happier because of something that happens than we are right now. So it's really about now, and not believing, because what will happen is people will reach a goal and they'll think that suddenly they're going to feel differently. They will for a little while, and then they won't. They'll feel just the same, and then they'll be disappointed. So you just got to know that it's a fallacy. So goal setting is very significant and very powerful, but if we don't understand the parts to it, we could really hurt ourselves in our attempts to reach those goals. Hi, I'm Ed Mitchell, CEO of Intent One. We really appreciate you taking time out to learn from our content. If you're interested in more, you can find us at intentone.net. Thanks so much. We appreciate you.